நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க, நாதன் தாழ் வாழ்க, இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. ஓங்கழியாண்ட குருமனிதன் தாழ்வாழ்க. சிவனவன் என் சிந்தையுள் நின்றதனால் அவன் அருளாலே அவன் தாழ் வணங்கி சிந்தை மகிழ சிவபுராணம் தன்னை முந்தை வினை முழுதும் ஓய உரைப்பன் யான். குரு பிரம்மா குரு விஷ்ணு குரு தேவோ மகேஸ்வரः குரு சாக்ஷாத் பரபிரம்ம தஸ்மை ஸ்ரீ குரவே நமः. யோ நித்யமच्युतपदां भजयुग्मरुक्मं व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि प्रणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोः भगवतो सिद्धैकसिन्धो रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. यस्य स्मरणमात्रेण द्वैतवासना प्रमुच्यते बोधात्मकाय नमस्तस्मै भगवते श्रीरामस्य. हृदाकाशे सदा भान्तं शान्तमानन्दरूपिणं ज्ञानभाण्वहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं विश्री सत्यसायिनं ममन्तर्यामिनम्. நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க, நாதன் தாழ் வாழ்க, இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. கோகழியாண்ட குருமனிதன் தாழ் வாழ்க, ஆகமம் ஆகி நின்று அன்னிப்பான் தாழ் வாழ்க. ஏகன் அநேகன் இறைவன் அடி வாழ்க, வேகம் கெடுத்தாண்ட வேந்தன் அடி வெல்க. பிறப்பருக்கும் விஞ்ஞகந்தன் பெய்கழல்கள் வெல்க, புறந்தார்க்கு சேயோன் தன் பூங்கழல்கள் வெல்க. கரம் குவிவார் உள்மகிழும் கோன்கழல்கள் வெல்க, சிரம் குவிவார் ஓங்குவிக்கும் சீரோன் கழல் வெல்க. ஈசனடி போற்றி, எந்தையடி போற்றி, தேசனடி போற்றி, சிவன் சேவடி போற்றி, நேயத்தே நின்ற நிமலனடி போற்றி, மாயப் பிறப்பருக்கும் மன்னனடி போற்றி, சீராறு பெருந்துரை நம் தேவனடி போற்றி, ஆராத இன்பம் அருளும் மலை போற்றி. சிவனவன் என் சிந்தையுள் நின்றதனால் அவன் அருளாலே அவன் தாழ் வணங்கி சிந்தை மகிழ சிவபுராணம் தன்னை முந்தை வினை முழுதும் ஓய உரைப்பன் யான். கண்ணுதலான் தன் கருணை கண்காட்ட வந்தெய்தி எண்ணுதற்கு எட்டா எழிலார் கழல் இறைஞ்சி விண்ணிறைந்தும் மண்ணிறைந்தும் மிக்காய் விளம்பொழியாய் எண்ணிறந்து எல்லையிலாதானே நின் பெரும் ஷீர் பொல்லாவினையேன் புகழுமாறு ஒன்றறியேன். புல்லாகி பூடாய் புழுவாய் மரமாகி பல்விருகமாகி பறவையாய் பாம்பாகி கல்லாய் மனிதராய் பேயாய் கணங்களாய் வல்லசுரராகி முனிவராய் தேவராய் செல்லா நின்ற தாவர ஜங்கமத்துள் எல்லா பிறப்பும் பிறந்திழைத்தேன் எம் பெருமான் மெய்யே உன் பொன்னடிகள் கண்டு இன்று வீடுற்றேன். உய்ய என் உள்ளத்துள் ஓங்காரமாய் நின்ற மெய்யா விமலா விடைப்பாகா வேதங்கள் ஐயா என ஓங்கி ஆழ்ந்து அகன்ற நுண்ணியனே. வெய்யாய் தனியாய் இயமான நாம் விமலா பொய்யாயின எல்லாம் போய் அகல வந்தருளி மெய்ஞானமாகி மிளிர்கின்ற மெய்ச்சுடரே. எஞ்ஞானம் இல்லாதே நின்ப பெருமானே, அஞ்ஞானம் தன்னை அகல்விக்கும் நல்லறிவே. ஆக்கம் அளவு இறுதி இல்லாய் அனைத்துலகும் ஆக்குவாய், காப்பாய் அழிப்பாய், அருள் தருவாய், போக்குவாய், என்னை புகுவிப்பாய். நின் நாற்றத்தின் நேரியாய் சேயாய் நனியானே மாற்றம் மனம் கழிய நின்ற மறையோ. கரந்த பால் கண்ணலுடனே கலந்தார் போல சிறந்த அடியார் சிந்தனையுள் தேனூரி நின்று பிறந்த பிறப்பருக்கும் எங்கள் பெருமான் நிறங்கள் ஓரைந்துடையாய் விண்ணோர்கள் ஏத்த மறைந்திருந்தாய். எம் பெருமான் வல்வினையேன் தன்னை மறைந்திட மூடிய மாய இருளை அறம்பாவம் என்னும் அரும் கயிற்றால் கட்டி புறம் தோல் போர்த்து எங்கும் புழு அழுக்கு மூடி மலம் சோறும் 9 வாயிற் குடிலை மலங்க புலனைந்தும் வஞ்சனையை செய்ய விலங்கு மனத்தால் விமனா உனக்கு கலந்த அன்பாகி கசிந்து உள்ளுருகும் நலம்தான் இல்லாத சிறியேற்கு நல்கி நிலம் தன்மேல் வந்தருளி நிலம் தன்மேல் வந்தருளி நீழ்கடல்கள் காட்டி ஞாயிற்கடையாய் கிடந்த அடியேற்கு தாயிற் சிறந்த தயாவான தத்துவனே மாசற்ற ஜோதி மலர்ந்த மலர்ச்சுடரே தேசனே தேனார் அமுதே சிவபுரனே பாசமாம் பற்றறுத்து பாரிக்கும் மாரியனே நேச அருள் புரிந்து நெஞ்சில் வஞ்சம் கெட பேராது நின்ற பெருங்கருணை பேராரே ஆரா அமுதே ஆராமுதே அளவிலா பெம்மானே ஓராதார் உள்ளத்து ஒளிக்கும் ஒளியானே நீராய் உருக்கி என் அருயிராய் நின்றானே இன்பமும் துன்பமும் இல்லானே உள்ளானே அன்பருக்கு அன்பனே யாவையுமாய் அல்லையுமாய் ஜோதியனே துன்னிருளே தோன்றா பெருமையனே ஆதியனே அந்தம் நடுவாகி அல்லானே ஈர்த்து என்னை ஆட்கொண்ட எந்தை பெருமானே கூர்த்தமை ஞானத்தால் கொண்டு உணர்வார்த்தம் கருத்தின் நோக்கரிய நோக்கே நுணுக்கரிய நுண்ணுணர்வே போக்கும் வரவும் புணர்வும் இலா புண்ணியனே காக்கும் என் காவலனே காண்பரிய பேரொளியே ஆற்றின்ப வெள்ளமே அத்தா மிக்காய் நின்ற தோற்றச் சுடரொளியாய் சொல்லாத நுண்ணுணர்வாய் மாற்றமாம் வையகத்தின் வெவ்வேறே வந்தறிவாம் தேற்றனே தேற்ற தெளிவே என் சிந்தனையுள் ஊற்றான உண்ணாரமுதே உடையானே வேற்று விகார விடக்கு உடம்பின் உள்கிடப்பாற்றேன் எம்மையாரனே ஓ என்றென்று போற்றி புகழ்ந்திருந்து பொய் கேட்டு மெய்யானார் மீட்டு இங்கு வந்து வினை பிறவி சாராமே கள்ளப்புறக்குரம்பை கட்டழிக்க வல்லானே நள்ளிருளில் நட்டம் பயின்றாடும் நாதனே தில்லையுள் கூத்தனே தென் பாண்டி நாட்டானே அல்லல் பிறவி அறுப்பானே ஓ என்று சொல்லற்கு அறியானே சொல்லி திருவடி கீழ் சொல்லிய பாட்டின் பொருளுணர்ந்து சொல்லுவார் செல்வர் சிவபுரத்தின் உள்ளார் சிவனடி கீழ் பல்லோரும் ஏத்த பணிந்து திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஹர நம பார்வதி பதையே. Happy and holy Shivratri to you. வேற்று விகார விடக்கு உடம்பின் உள்கிடப்ப ஆற்றேன் எம் ஐயா அரணே ஓ என்றென்று போற்றி புகழ்ந்திருந்த பொய்கெட்டு மெய்யானார் மீட்டு இங்கு வந்து வினைப்பிறவி சாராமே கள்ள புலக்குரம்பை கட்டழிக்க வல்லானே நள்ளிருளில் நட்டம் பயின்று ஆடும் நாதனே தில்லையுள் கூத்தனே தம்பாண்டி நாட்டானே. How that jnana sthiti, state of jnana is attained, is what is being explained in very simple terms by Māṇikkavācakar here. What is required for this? One, disgust to our current state of existence. This bodily, physical state of existence, which everybody is hankering after, for the various experiences of this body and the senses. And as long as we are happy with that, and as long as we are looking forward to more and more of those same experiences, God is also very happy to let us experience that, enjoy that. See, the rule with God is very simple. What you want, He gives you. Whatever you want, He gives you. Earnestly, if you want the world, earnestly He gives you the world. There's only two things though. It's either the world or the truth. World is false, truth is truth. Yeah, so false and truth. Binary. God is very binary. He is non-binary in one way. But in terms of giving what we want, it is only binary. There's only two things here. Either He gives you the world or He gives you the truth. But in giving you this world, there you cannot stress and say, I want only success in this world. I want only joy in this world. I want only praise in this world. These things you cannot say. World is the package together. When you choose the world, you get the world as a package deal. In that you may get sorrow, you may get, it's like, when you go to the supermarket and you buy a pre-packed pack of vegetables, you're not very sure how it is. If you go and pick, you will pick the right ones, what you need to use now, you will have a sense of control over it. Yeah? So you will pick. And if you go and get a pre-packed set, that some will be raw, some will be ripe, some will be ready, some will be not ready. You can't do much about it. Like that, if you choose the word, then you cannot further have any specific requirements in that. I only want this. Nobody has managed till today. Nobody, and I literally mean nobody, not even God. Should God make the mistake of coming into this world, even He has to bear both. God chooses to come. It's not a mistake. I'm not really happy with the feedback. God chooses to come. But when He comes, He also has to undergo joy and sorrow. He also has to undergo praise and criticism. When you enter into Yogi Ram Sarathkumar Ashram, there will be a board there which says, even avatars like Rama and Krishna were not free from criticism. If they were there today, even they will be subject to criticism. What to say of this beggar? Whether they are holy men, whether they are saints, whether they are avatars, joy and sorrow, pain and pleasure, profit and loss, these things come for everybody in succession. Even the avatar cannot pick only success. Even avatar has to have something. But where does the avatar or the jnani differ? They take everything as good. They take everything as success. Even failure they take to be a success. And you succeeded in failing, no? What is failure? Failure is failed to succeed, but succeeded in failing. In one way, failure also is success. You succeeded in something nobody else was able to succeed. You alone failed. Nobody else could accomplish what you did. But everything is a success now. There is no such thing as failure. But when you take the world, you cannot then make any distinctions and say, I want only this, I want only that. The world is a package deal. Or truth. These are the two things that God gives you depending upon what you are earnest in. If you say, I want the world, He gives you the world. He gives you all the experiences of the world. You say, no, I want only you. If you say, sincerely, sincerity is the point. Here's where most of us fail. When we say we want the world, we are very sincere about it. When we say we want God, we are not that sincere about it. We still want the world. We still want the world. Bhagavan says, all right, in that case you can have the world. Bhagavan gives the world. He gives the worldly experiences only. Even though we said little bit we want God also. A little bit is there where I want God. That tiny little bit percentage of interest that we have for the divine is true. Unfortunately, we only get that much. Because the bulk of our desires are towards the world. That is why what is important, you have got to reach the stage where you develop disgust. Absolute disgust to the affairs of this world. Without getting disgusted with it, the vairasyam should come. You should be able to perceive the absolute tastelessness in all these repeated worldly experiences that we are going through. Unless and until you can reach that state, without reaching that state, somehow I want God also, not possible. It is not possible. Why? Because God values himself much more than we value him. God values himself much more than we value him. Swami often used to tell us this. You may not value my words, but I value my words. And therefore, if you will not listen to my words, I will not speak to you. At times when Swami would stop speaking to the boys. And then we would ambush Swami and surround him and say, please Swami, please Swami, please Swami, talk to us Swami. So Swami would say, why? Why should I talk to you? You are not giving any value to my words. But even if you don't value my words, I value my words. Therefore, I will not waste my words on you who do not value my words. So that was his way of teaching us that lesson, that we have got to value him. We have got to value his words for him to make himself available to us. So, based on how Swami revealed this truth, we can certainly say that God values himself whether we do it or not. And unless he is satisfied that we are also valuing him correctly, appropriately, only then will he be happy and willing to give us himself. He doesn't give us himself for free. You've got to put in the effort. You've got to pay the appropriate price for it. What is the price of it? Our sense price. Price is very price. But the price is not very expensive. God is not pretending to be expensive at all. God can be had very cheaply. என்னதுன்னா கொண்டது எந்தனை தந்தது உந்தனை என்ன கணக்கோ இது ஏதும் புரியாது யார்களோ சதுரர். Hey Ishvara, you gave yourself to me in return for accepting me. How am I? We've already seen Māṇikkavācakar explaining how we are. வல்வினையன் தன்னை மறந்திட மூடிய மாயை இருளை அறம்பாவம் என்னும் அருங்கயிற்றால் கட்டி புறந்தோல் போத்து எங்கும் புழு அழுக்கு மூடி மலம் சோறும் 9 வாயில் குடிலை மலங்க புலனைந்தும் வஞ்சனையை செய்ய விலங்கு மனம். This is our state. நாயிற்கடையாய் கிடந்தை. But despite us being in this very sad and depraved state, Bhagavan is still willing to do the exchange offer provided we are willing to give ourselves to him. Here is the irony. As stinky as we are not even willing to give ourselves to him. Even when he is willing to accept us. He is willing to accept us. And we are not willing to give ourselves to him. Tiruvācakam. In the Tiruvācakam, little van will come. An open van will come. And loudspeaker he will be announcing. He will say, bring your old paper, old clothes, old pipes, old appliances, old AC, old fridge, old bureau, old TV. Whatever it is, we buy everything and give good price to you. All that which you don't need, give. He even say give hair also. Even hair we will take good price. I don't know why. Why hair? Tiruvācakam, he goes around collecting hair. Why? Here he will sell us wigs. இங்கெல்லாம் போட்டு தெரியுங்க. நீங்க கேட்டா hair replacement. Something they have, no? Hair rejuvenation, restoration. Where does that hair come from? Because that fellow will say, don't throw your hair, give it to us, we will buy it, take it in the ground. Like that, Ishvara also saying, give yourself to me, give yourself to me, give me. He said, no, I won't give myself to you. All Bhagavan wants is for us to sincerely give ourselves to him. As we are, he is willing to accept us. Bhagavan is not saying, you become like this, become like that, and then you come along. Bhagavan is not saying, as you are, I will accept you. जैसे भी हैं हम हैं साई हम तो तेरे हैं. As we are, O Lord, we are yours. And he is also willing to accept, but the only thing required is sincerity. Sincerity is required. We have no sincerity. Sincerity is not there, sin only. Sincerely, if you are willing to give yourself over to Him, Bhagavan is happy to accept and in return gives Himself to us. Adhanala, the first thing, willing to give ourselves to Him. Willing to give ourselves to Bhagavan means what? Not willing to again and again and again, many times, repeatedly, I have said this. Giving yourself to Bhagavan means not living for yourself. Not living for yourself means not living merely to propitiate the senses. Not merely for your worldly affairs, for your jobs, for your families, for your the pleasure of the body and the mind. Oh, so you mean not merely for that, means I can have that, and then if you have this, then you can never have the other one. You will never come to it. You will never have the ruchi in this. If you want to have a true Atma ruchi, taste in God, then you have got to give up the other taste, as Swami would tell us. If your glass is already filled with water, how can I pour nectar into it? Apo, we will say, okay, Swami, wait, I will tip a little bit out, and there is a little bit nectar poured out. What will happen to the nectar? It will get diluted. You empty it. Swami would say, you empty it, I will fill you up. The promise from the Lord is, you empty yourself, I will fill you up. What are you filled up with already currently now? You are filled up with the sewage of the world. You are filled up with the stinky rubbish that you have accumulated over births. Pudushuguda Parish. Padiyavasana. They are not even fresh vasanas. They are old, stale vasanas that you accumulated from births and births and births. Which you know, Pokusha Madhuri Vishnu. Krishna went into this gopi's house and broke the pot. Bhandam Binati. Gopika வந்து complain பண்றா. This Gopika comes and complains to Yashoda. All the Gopikas have come to complain to Yashoda. Appo, they are all saying, he came and ate my butter, he came and ate my curd, he came and drank my milk. அப்படி எல்லாம் எல்லாரும் சொல்லிட்டு இருக்காடா. ஒரு மாமி, this Gopi says, at least if he drank it, I would have been happy. He broke my pot. Nati bandam dhinati. Nati bandam dhinati. Abdiyana, he did not eat, he broke the pot. Ati na eat. English word eat comes from the Sanskrit word atti. Nati bandam dhinati. Nati bandam dhinati. Share to shonna. Nati bandam dhinati. Yashoda asked, why did you break the pot? She only said, Nati Bhandam Bhinati. The pot is stinking. I broke it. Why was the pot stinking? She has got old butter inside. Rancid butter she has got inside. What does Bhagavan do? He breaks the pot. What is this rancid butter? The vasanas that we have accumulated over many births, that's Nati. Bhagavan eat it. How will Bhagavan eat it? Bhandam Bhinati will break the pot. So what is required? Vetru vikara vidakku udambin ulgidappa atrain. I am not able to bear it anymore. I am not able to put up with it anymore. I cannot continue this existence in the current way. What is our current state of existence now? The Bhagavad Anubhavam Iliya. Māṇikkavācakar's experience is not there once. The joy, the prema with which he is able to connect to God, if we do not have it, what is the use of such an existence? The beauty of Māṇikkavācakar is he's not saying, I was born like that. I was a born genius. I was born great. Therefore, I attained Nayir kadayai kidanda diyerku tayir shiranda dayavana tattuvane. He says, I was worse than a dog. I was worse than a dog. He gives us hope. By saying that he is worse than a dog, he is actually giving us hope because he is saying, look, you also can. certainly attain it. Yeah. How else will be? So everybody has got a hope. Provided, what do we need to do? Yeah, art train. I cannot bear it anymore. The first Tirumbi, turning away from our current existence. If you are happy with your current existence, then there is no forward progress. You have to be happy with that itself. What do we have to look at? Who do we have to look up to? Why do we listen to these stories of Mahatmas and Mahapurushas? Not to imitate them, not to copy them, not to do what they did, but be inspired by the states that they reached, because that gives us a bar, that sets a bar for us, that sets a standard for us, that shows us that these are the heights that we can actually aspire to attain. Otherwise, we will not even know what such prema is. Oh, I love God. We think we love God. Why not? Because we have not seen anything greater than what we have. Maximum we've seen is our parents. We feel, oh, I'm better than my parents and loving God. When we look at our parents, they probably did not even have half the love that we have. So we think, oh, I'm much better off them. So, what are we comparing ourselves with? Somebody worse than us you compare, you feel very satisfied that you are better off than them. That is not who you should look at. Look at those who have reached the highest pinnacle of bhakti, of jnana. Then don't imitate them. That is a dangerous thing to do. Do not imitate them. Do not try and do what they are doing. That may not be appropriate for you. That may not be the right thing for you. But they show you that your current existence is not the be all and end all of your life. It's a much higher state that you can attain. They are trying to explain to us. But looking at that state, again, there are two ways in which we can get this discussed. One, we can look at that state in which they are, look at our own state and feel disgusted with our trivial existence. In a wise way. The other way is as they call it, the school of hard knocks, where you go through difficulty, you go through all kinds of reversals, and you end up saying, life sucks. Life is useless. You are horrible. I don't want it anymore. Take a look around. Look around and look at the world. Look at the difficulties people have. Look at the sorrows people are encountering. And look, when you look at all of them, don't you feel cheer? Existence. What kind of a life is it? That vairagyam can come simply from that itself. When you can look at all the difficulties that are possible for us also. When you see somebody in suffering, it's a possibility. Right now you do not have it, that is very good. But is it not a possibility? You should be able to know. How can we go blindly as though nothing will happen? Then awaken. Tasma jagrata jagrata jagrata. Wake up. Smell the coffee, as they say. Wake up and see the jara marana dukkha dosha darshanam. Looking around, seeing the absolute dosha, the faults that are present in the worldly existence. What should we say, Abdina? Vetru vikara vidakkudambin ulkidappa aatrain yammayya harane o endrendu potri pugandirundu. When you realize that this is not what you want, this is not the way you want to live your life, நான் எப்படி வரணும்னா நல்ல சவுக்கால் அடிச்ச மாதிரி இருக்கணும். Many people, when they listen to this pravachan, they will feel, yeah, correct. Once they go back into the world, once they go back to the conveniences of their own house, everything is forgotten. Everything is forgotten. By the time the head touches the pillow tonight, in Shivaratri, if you plan to sleep, if you don't sleep, it's a different story. Then whenever your head touches the pillow, by the time the head touches the pillow, all of this is forgotten. All you want to do is make sure that the bed is comfortable, the pillow is comfortable, the sheets are nice and crisp. that the temperature is appropriate. Let us go to sleep. Once again we go back into that. How should it be on the other hand? Train, I cannot bear it anymore. I cannot endure it a moment more. ஐயா அரணே ஓ என்றென்று போற்றி புகழ்ந்திருந்து. When you know that this is not what you want, and you know that there is only one person who can relieve you from all of these troubles, there is only one person who can remove all these difficulties and diseases and bring us health, peace and prosperity. When you are able to find that person who can do it, then what should you do? If you have any intelligence, what will you do? Will you not turn to him, fall at his feet, grasp hold of those feet and never let go, and until you are redeemed? Towards the end, Māṇikkavācakar is bringing this concept to us. On the one hand, he is so sweet. How sweet is he? Today, I got sent a message. It was sent last night, I saw it this morning. Remember how we spoke about halwa? How about putting more and more ghee and the ghee comes out and all that? I got a message from Bharti, Purni and Vani and so on, Prashanti. And she sent me a photo and she said, today the prasadam handed out by Swami in Cyclemanth Hall was this halwa. A packet of halwa. There was a packet of halwa she was holding in her hand and that photo was sent out. That is how sweet he is. What does it mean? He is listening to everything that we say. Not only is he listening, he says yes, 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 and he's giving halwa for it. Halwa kudutara adhu vishayam. Not only is he listening, he says yes, and halwa kudutara. That is how sweet he is. So on the one hand is the sweet Lord. On the other hand is the bitter life. Is there a great wonder or separate? Should you be given full marks for even guessing what is the right one to pick? On the one hand is bitter life. On the other hand is the sweet Lord. What is the great rocket science in picking the right one? Naturally you pick the Lord. Why would you still want to hold on to the bitter world when you can have the sweet Lord? Thou wonder. This is the great wonder. We do not know why more and more people are not letting go of the bitterness of existence and grasping hold of God. We do not know why. கேட்டா கசப்பு ஒரு ருச்சிங்கிறார். கருப்பு ஒரு அழகு, காந்தல் ஒரு ருசி, கருப்பு ஒரு அப்படின்னு சொல்றாங்க. They are saying bitterness is also sweet. Bitterness is also a taste. அதுக்காக when you can have something sweet, why will you want something bitter? When you can have health, will you say, no, but disease is also an experience, no? Will you not automatically, naturally choose that which is the shreyas? That's intelligence. Buddhi is necessary. Buddhi yogam is necessary. Buddhi is to choose the appropriate. It's so crystal clear, the choices are so blatant. On the one hand there is pain and misery, on the one hand there is undiluted joy. Why would you not pick this joy? But to pick this joy means you have to give this up completely. You cannot still hold on to this. You cannot still hanker after this worldly experience. That is the meaning of it. அதனால ஆற்றேன் ஐயா ஹரனே ஓ என்றென்று போற்றி புகழ்ந்திருந்து. Therefore turning towards him, praising him, living our lives devoted to him. அதான் போற்றி புகழ்ந்து இருந்து சொல்றோம். ஏதோ ஒரு நாளைக்கு போற்றி புகழ் இல்லை, இருந்து. The word இருந்து means to remain like that. To make that our natural state of existence, which is to live for God. To live praising him, giving him glory, living for his glory, counting the blessings that we are receiving, thanking him repeatedly for the grace that he is showering, has showered and will shower. If you do that, then what will happen? All the falsehood will leave us. Because Falsehood will not leave us. You have left falsehood. When you turned away from the world, you have left the falsehood. And now what does Māṇikkavācakar say? Poi kettu. The poi will be lost. Kettu na lost na. The falsehood will be lost. You lost it. It is not passively getting lost. The moment you turned away from it, it is gone. Poi kettu meyyana. They became the truth. They themselves became the truth. And then meet ingu vandu vinai piravi sharame, and then without having to come back again into this world and to be born again in this world, kalla pulakkurambai kattadikkavallane. O Lord, who is the expert, who is most skilled in samudharana pandita. Samudharana Pandita. She is a Pandita. She is a very skilled expert. Devi. Expert in what? Jana Samudharana Pandita. She is so skilled in emancipating us. Bhagavan is skilled in emancipating us. He's got, if at all Bhagavan has to create a resume for himself, job application, a resume. What are your skill sets? I can uplift people. Case studies, previous experience, Bhagavan can give a lot of experience. If you go on and on, how many years of experience he's got? Since how long has he been working? Since the beginning of creation he's been doing it. Literally beginning of creation. As soon as creation came, Brahma was emancipated. And the planet started. Sanat Kumaras were there, they were emancipated. Narada the rishis were emancipated. Vashishta the rishis were emancipated. People like Dhruva and Prahlada were emancipated. How many people he has liberated? How many people he has given redemption to? So he is expert in it. So Allah, you are the one that can remove, cut asunder this knot, this terrible tie that I have to this world, to this karma. You can get rid of it for me. Therefore, and after having cut it asunder, what will he do, Priyanna? What will he do when he finds one person who has turned completely towards him? He's turned completely towards him. He's given up all this world. So he will come there and he will cut those ties that bind. And after having done that, what will he do? He will celebrate. He will celebrate. One liberated soul, he will celebrate. How will he celebrate? Nallirulil nattam payindru aadum nadane. He will dance in wild abandon. Aha, one more is escaped. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa would say, the Divine Mother will clap her hands in glee and say, one more is escaped. Adamadri here, Nallirulil nattam payindru aadum nadane tillayul kuttane. Kootadrano. It's sandosham. Kootadradana. Sandosham. So much joy. He doesn't know what he's doing. Flinging his legs here and there, hand here and there. The Jatha Modi goes everywhere. Round and round it goes. A pretty wild dance. Shivatanda. Why is he dancing like this? Because he has finally managed to find one person that he can liberate. Adarala nattam paindradum nathane tillayul kuttane tenpandi nattane. Allal piravi arupane. Allal piravi arupane. What kind of piravi is this? Birth. What kind of birth? Allal piravi. Allal no hate, trouble. Allal means trouble, turmoil, unhappiness, misery. In the state of unhappiness, turmoil and misery. Adala sukam il. Sukam il. Adu allal na. Adu sukam il. Adu sukam nil. There is no happiness in this world. Adala allal nu sonna. Illai nu artham. Allal na illa na. Allah nu solrom. Allal. There is no joy. There is no peace. There is nothing in it. Appearpata oru piravi. Such a birth. Allal piravi aruppane. O Lord, who is capable of destroying this miserable existence. O yendru sollakku ariyane. Oh, என்று சொல்லற்கரியானை, there is no way in which he can be pinpointed to say he is this much. அப்படின்னு we cannot say what he is. அப்படி சொல்ல முடியாத பிரபுவை, he who cannot be described, such a wonderful Lord, அறியானை சொல்லி திருவடி கீழ் சொல்லிய பாட்டின் பொருள் உணர்ந்து சொல்லுவார். Even though he cannot be described, I have attempted to sing his glories. I have somewhat described the one who cannot be described. Oh, somebody came and asked, hey, you said he cannot be described. Then you say you described him. How did you describe him? I described him as the one who cannot be described. How did you manage to describe the Lord? I described him as the one who cannot be described. Oh, என்று சொல்லற்கு அறியானை சொல்லி திருவடி கீழ், sitting at his lotus feet, and the திருவடி கீழ் சொல்லிய பாட்டின், this song that I have submitted to his lotus feet, describing him as the most indescribable one, those who can பொருள் உணர்ந்து சொல்லுவார், those who can chant this after fully understanding, comprehending the meaning behind what I have said. செல்வர் சிவபுரத்தின் உள்ளார். They will go straight to Shivapuram. They will go straight to Shivapuram. Shivan Adikil. Where will they go to? Shivan Adikil. They will go and settle down under the feet of Shiva. They will go and settle down under the feet of Shiva. Why settle down under his feet? One fellow went to Kailasha and wanted to flex his muscles. This fellow thought he has come to the gym. And gym weight lift they lift weights. He lifted Kailasha itself. Kailasha. அப்போ உமையஞ்சுதல் பொருட்டால் அப்படின்னு உமா became afraid. உமா பார்வதி became afraid. அப்போ பார்த்தார், பகவான் பார்த்தார், why are you afraid? என்னாச்சு? Kailasha itself is shaking, earthquake இது earthquake இல்ல, விளையாடிய விகிருதன் ராவணன். அவர் கிறுக்கு பையன் வந்திருக்கான். விகிருதன் கிறுக்கு பையன் வந்திருக்கான். Mad fellow was come. Bhagavan put his foot down. Parameshwara put his foot down. He put his foot down. What happened? Like a spider being squashed under a weight. Why spider? Imagine the spider with 8 legs. Suddenly some weight comes on it. The legs are gone all sides. This fellow has got 20 arms. 10 heads and 20 arms. He was squashed by Kailasha. Why? He couldn't move from there. He cannot move. Same words. Shivan Adikil. They will go and get under the feet of Shiva. Alvar also says, I entered into your, below your feet. Well, let me go and hide, burrow under your feet so that I can never again escape from you. Anyway, if I stay on top of your feet in the morning, sometimes, many times it has happened. They'll have the puja, they'll have a statue. And they have done Archana the previous day. They'll put all the flowers at the feet. Some, out of exuberance, they may have also offered some precious things. But the morning when they collect all the flowers and go, that also will get carried away. Chuma 1 or 2 gold flowers they may have at home. Along with the rest of the flowers, they'll put the gold flower also. And they'll forget next morning when they clear the altar, they will take that also and go on. Like that, if I stay on top of his feet, next morning somebody will clear his feet. They will carry me and throw me away into the compost bin. I have to go to the green bin. So I can't afford to stay on top. I have to stay below, so that there is absolutely no escape for me. Actually, those who have understood the meaning of the Śivapurāṇam and those who chant the Śivapurāṇam after having understood this meaning After understanding the meaning, I also have heard for 11 days. Now I know the meaning. From now on I can chant illa. Understanding the meaning means obviously putting it into practice in your life. Yeah? You go to the doctor, and the doctor says, see, this particular tablet, you should take after breakfast. Half an hour after breakfast, you should take this tablet. Then again, this particular tablet, you take half an hour before lunch. Then the last one, you take 2 of this right after dinner. You understand? Yes, I understood. I understood. And next time you go to the doctor will ask, so did you take all this? No, I didn't take anything. I didn't take it. But when I said to you, did you understand? You said, yeah, I understood. I understood what you said. You said that I should take this half an hour after, this half an hour before, this immediately. I understood everything. Is there any meaning? Is there any use? Understanding means practicing. Understanding means practicing it. So when you really understand this Śivapurāṇam, that means you're starting to practice the Śivapurāṇam. Whatever Māṇikkavācakar said, you're starting to adopt that in your life. You're starting to live your life as he lived his life, or as all the other great Mahatmas are living their lives. Namadri, when we start to live our life, that is the meaning of saying, Allal piraviyarupane o என்று சொல்லற்கு அறியானை சொல்லி திருவடிக்கு சொல்லிய பாட்டின் பொருள் உணர்ந்து சொல்லுவார் செல்வர் சிவபுரத்தின் உள்ளார். அவளை யாருன்னா அவள செல்வர்கள். செல்வர் அப்படின்னா they will go. ஆனா செல்வர் அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம் செல்வந்தர் அப்படின்னு அர்த்தம். they are wealthy ones. செல்வம் இருக்கும் இல்லையா தமிழ்ல, செல்வம் அப்படின்னா வெல்த்னு அர்த்தம். those who have செல்வம் are selvers. செல்வர் அப்படின்னா அர்த்தம் they are filled, they are rich people. They are rich, they are wealthy. What is their wealth? Bhakti is their wealth, jnana is their wealth, vairagya is their wealth. They are filled with all that wealth. With all that wealth, what will happen? Selvar Shivapuratin Ullar. They will go straight to Shivapuram. They will merge in Shiva. They will live in that Shiva Sanithyam. Shiva Sanithyam doesn't mean Kundoda Kailashathukku poganum artham illa. Shiva eppo bayam undu. You Kailasham poganum. Adu namma vera sadharanama solluma Kundoda Kailasham vera solluma. You have to go to Kailasha. I want to stay here for some more time. What is that for Kailasha, I say? That doesn't mean you have to give up the body and go to Kailasha. If you are planning to wait until you give up the body to go to Kailasha and all, don't worry, you will come back again. This is that state. Tan padam yanakku tandanan. Ramana Bhagavan says, his state he gave me. He gave me his state, the state of being Shiva. Shiva, what does Shiva mean? We are saying Shivaratri. Now, what is the meaning of Shiva? Shiva means auspicious. Shivam, bhavatu kalyanam. Shivam bhavatu kalyanam. Shivam na kalyanam. Shivam na auspiciousness. Shivaratri, auspicious night. Amongst all the nights in the entire year, tonight is an auspicious night. What is so auspicious about this night? If tonight you are going to keep awake and think about the Lord, what can be more auspicious than that? That is why it is auspicious night. On the other hand, if you sleep like a dead corpse, Shavaratri. Yeah? When you are sleeping, what is it? Shavasana. In yoga, they have something called Shavasana. So when you lie down, you do yoga nidra. Further, what you have got to do? First lie down in Shavasana. That means you have to lie down flat. And close your eyes. That's Shavasana. So if you go to sleep, then it is Shavaratri only. If you remain awake, it is Shivaratri. Awake in what? Awake watching movies. The whole night I watch movies. And Netflix binge watching. Shivaratri. Jagarna. Watcher. If on Netflix is going to watch Watcher series, the whole night he is going to watch, there's something called Watcher. If he is going to watch Watcher the whole night, can that be called Jagarna? The awakening. The awakening. the watcher, the witcher, and all. So the whole night, if he away is watching something like this, can that make it Shivaratri? Awake in the truth, awake in God, awake to our own welfare. You have to be awake to your own welfare. Nobody else is going to do that for you. In this world, the spiritual sphere, even worldly, even worldly, if you have to eat, you only have to eat. You can be fed, but you have to still swallow. No? You only can do it. Nobody else can do it for you. Spiritually also, you have got to be awake to your own welfare, to your own well-being. What is going to bring me good? You should think about it. And in that you have to be awake. If you are awake like that, then every night and every day, everything is shown now. Everything is shown. Selvar Shivapuratin ullar Shivanadikir. They will go and read Shiva. What is the proof now? Pallorum ye tappaningu. He doesn't say very secretly they will go join Shiva. Everybody will praise them, everybody will prostrate to them, everyone will worship those who have reached Shiva in this manner. Māṇikkavācakar is proudly declared. You live for God, the whole world will look at you and worship you. You live for yourself, you only have to live for yourself. We are all living only for ourselves. And so who else will live for us? Who else will live for us? You live for yourself, only you have to live for yourself. Yes or no? Tell me. On the other hand, if you live for God, everyone will live for you. Everyone will live for you. If you live for yourself, you alone have to live. Maximum your family will live. Narrow. When you live for God, everybody will adore you, adulate you, worship you, because you are leading such a life, an exemplary life. In his own experience, he has encountered that. So Māṇikkavācakar is saying it as a very autobiographical statement. Yeah, it's an autobiographical statement as far as Māṇikkavācakar is concerned. Everybody worshipped him. Everywhere he was received with great respect. What did that respect owe its origin to? I am a great man. Bhagavan gave it. Why did Bhagavan give it? Because I only want Bhagavan, I don't want anything else. The Lord also has an obligation. If you live only for the Lord also feels obligated. Plus, you also become a sort of brand representative. You become a brand representative, brand ambassador. That is the word the term they use. You become a brand ambassador. Suppose you're a brand ambassador of Nike. If you wear all torn clothes and shoes that are coming out, how will it be for Nike? Yeah, they'll be very upset. Yeah, so they'll equip you in the best thing because you're the brand ambassador for them. So like that, if you're living for God, God will also feel, these fellows brand ambassador for me. People have to come to me. Yeah. They look at him and say, if you worship God, you'll be like this. It seems, no, thank you. I don't want to worship this God. If people start to say that, it will backfire. Bhagavan is also not interested in that. Bhagavan will also say, if you live for me, I will make sure that I will live for you. Bhagavan has also got a vested interest in it. So in the end, the summary, as it were, of Śivapurāṇam, what is it? We keep saying the same thing again and again. Live for God, not for yourself. Namah Shivaya. Summary and right at the beginning of Śivapurāṇam, Māṇikkavācakar summarized the essence of Śivapurāṇam. Namah Shivaya Varga. Let that philosophy of living for God, not for me but for Shiva, not for me but for Shiva, not for me but for Shiva. Namaha Shivaya. Not mine, not for me, but unto Him, for Him. Let your existence itself be for Him. It's not a declaration that you make one day and say, okay, God, from now on, my life is for you. Even if you sign it and give it, doesn't make any difference. Moment to moment, you have to remember it and you have to live it. If you do that, then indeed, certainly, the essence of the Śivapurāṇam, this is where he says, சொல்லிய பாட்டின் பொருள் உணர்ந்து சொல்லுவார். Those who have recognized the meaning of this song and live that. Nothing more is required. Namah Shivaya is enough. Om kuda sollala. Panchakshari la, Shiva Panchakshari has got only 5 aksharas in it. Na, ma, shi, va, ya. Generally you say Om Namah Shivaya. It's called Panchakshari. Panchakshari only 5 syllables are there. Om is the 6th one. Om is not even included. Shiva Panchakshari na anje na. Namaha Shivaya. That's all. Nakara is a denial. Makara is the self, individual, limited being. Shivaya is the supreme. But when you dedicate yourself to Shiva, when you dedicate yourself to the Lord and live for the Lord repeatedly, this is the only message of all the Shastras, of all the scriptures, whether they are Jnana oriented or Bhakti oriented, all of them ultimately say only this much. Do not live for yourself. Do not be selfish. Do not lead a selfish existence which is only filled with your own desires, your own aims and aspirations. Live instead for God. Live for the greater glory of God. What will bring glory to God? Following His teachings is what will bring glory to Him. Following His instructions is what is going to bring glory to God. What are His instructions? Brother, be selfless, live for me. Manmana bhava bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mame vaishya satyante pratijani. Bhagavan explains in the Gita, live for me. Manmana bhava, think about me all the time. Be of my mind. Manmana. Let your thoughts revolve around me. Mad bhaktaha, become my devotee. Be my devotee. Madhyaji, sacrifice everything for me. Mam namaskuru. Offer everything to me and worship me. You will reach me. Abhinu Bhagavan is saying, on this holy, divine night of Shivaratri, for 11 days, we have also had the great privilege, the honor and the blessing, Swami's blessing, to celebrate this wonderful Śivapurāṇam. That is the sweetness of the Lord that we are devotees of. Believe me, He is worth giving up everything for. He is certainly worth giving up all this nonsense at least for. You can give up everything for Him, but in the end, the everything that you are giving up is only rubbish. It is only nonsense that needs to be given up anyway. But Bhagavan pretends as though we have done Him a great favor or have made a great accomplishment in getting rid of trash in our house. And here, all we've got to do is make the trash into ash. Enna ash na, holy ash. Mandiramaavad neer. We have got to take all this trash, this rubbish that we have, and make it into the ash of Vibhuti and apply it. It was a very wonderful experience. Śivapurāṇam. Hara Namah Parvati Pataye. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma bhajatu bhavaye. Loka samstas kilo bhavantu, loka samstas kilo bhavantu, loka samstas kilo bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tatsat. Shri Sai Ishvara